Well, here's what happened. He stepped up to shoot a technical free throw for the Lakers in the first quarter, but he did miss. And seconds after, Kyrie Irving, who was visibly amused by the miss, could be overheard on the TV broadcast saying, quote, "That's your best free throw shooter?" Oh, yeah, you could hear that. Shannon, what do you make of Kyrie saying this?
Skip, I loved it. It's trash talking. And the thing about not having fans in the stands, Skip, is that you can hear the mics pick up everything.
Yeah.
Skip, I once told against Skip, it was third down, and the guy was in the game, and he ended up running, and he ran out of bounds. I was like, why the hell are you in the game? You know damn well they weren't going to throw you that ball on third down. You out here just taking up space. You should have stayed on the sideline. But that's a part of the game, Skip. Look, we know there's really no love lost between Kyrie and LeBron, and we don't need to rehash what transpired. Kyrie hit a big shot. LeBron went back for 3 years. Kyrie probably won't admit this, but I don't know. It was probably the best 3 years of Kyrie's life because Kyrie got on the map. I mean, we knew who he was, but nobody was talking about Kyrie in the terms that when LeBron came back, people got a chance to see him on a nightly basis.
Yep.
He's in the NBA Finals 3 times. He won one, hit the big shot, the second biggest shot in NBA Finals history. So, but there's no love loss. I don't think there's no love loss on Kyrie's side. LeBron's like, I just tried to do all I could. I tried to help the kid. If there's anything I could do, any wisdom, knowledge I could partake on him, I tried to do that. But Kyrie, for whatever reason, felt that he was on LeBron's level. And the Cavaliers did not give him the privileges that they afforded LeBron, the access to go and come, his team, the access that Kyrie sought. And so I guess Kyrie held that against LeBron as opposed to holding against the Cavaliers and Dan Gilbert. But for whatever reason, hey, it went sour. Kyrie went about his way. It's worked out well for everybody. Kyrie's happy. He had to stop off in, Boston for 2 years, Skip. Now he's in Brooklyn with KD and James Harden. But I loved it. I don't have a problem with it. And you're right, because if you look at who's on the court at the time, Montrezl Harrell is a 74% free throw shooter. THT is an 84, but he only shoots one a game. Caruso is 83. He shoots half of one a game. And Kuz is worse than LeBron at shooting free throws. So, yeah, probably LeBron was the best one on the court to shoot the ball at the time, although it didn't go in. Hey, but I don't have a problem with it, Skip. I don't have a problem with it.
You know what? I actually, honestly, felt sorry for LeBron because that was blatant disrespect in his house. And it was a Kyrie who was always jealous of LeBron, always resented LeBron's stature when they played together, always resented the way LeBron handled himself. LeBron has some diva in him. Obviously, Kyrie's got a lot of something in him. I don't know if you call it diva, but he can be moody and difficult. And they clashed. Their personalities constantly rubbed each other the wrong way until finally Kyrie said, I'm out of here. And what I saw last night was a Kyrie who was dealing from a position of strength because he believes he's now sitting in what we call the proverbial catbird seat. He's like, I talked KD and coming with me to Brooklyn, and now we got James. So I got KD and James. You got AD, but obviously last night neither had AD or KD. But it's Kyrie saying, I got you. And he stated the obvious to me, but man, it was a shot because it was audible enough that I'm assuming a number of players on both sides could hear what he said.
Yeah, it's quiet. There's no fans in the stands.
That's
so
what I'm
you hear
saying.
everything.
Yeah, it reverberated on the floor. So the point is, I've always, my pet peeve about LeBron, and he's obviously an all-time great player. I've never understood why he couldn't figure out how to make more than, whatever, 70% of his free throws, 72 or 73 for his career. But he's better than that. He needs to be better than that. It's almost like he's got a demon in his head about free throw shooting. He actually, his technique looks better this year than it's ever looked because he's tried all these bizarre step back before he shoots it, all these different routines. So he looks like he's got it under control, but he's still at 70%. And he did step right up, and you make a fair case because their best free throw shooters were not on the floor at that point. Although I could have made a case because Frank Vogel raves about Caruso. again, for those who watch the Laker telecast out on Sports Spectrum here in Southern California, you hear on a nightly basis, he is Caruso. He is the show.
Yes.
And now Frank Vogel is calling him Mariano Rivera, as in the greatest relief pitcher in the history of baseball.
Closer.
And he's their closer because he closes every. Obviously, last night wasn't close, but down the stretch, he can play very little in the first 3 quarters. But down the stretch of the fourth quarter, he is going to be on the floor because he's smart with the basketball and he plays hellacious, crazy, kamikaze defense. He's all over the floor taking charges, getting his hands on balls, disrupting. So he is, as you just pointed out, he's an 83%er. So you could make a case he should have stepped to the line. But LeBron's like, well, I'm the elder statesman here, and because all of our best free throw shooters are currently on the bench, I'm going to take this free throw. And again, LeBron ranks 11th in free throw percentage on his own team. That's how bad his free throw is right now. So the only 2 worst are Kuzma, who's having his worst year of his career at 62%, and the immortal Alfonso McKinney, who he got to play some last night. He is a grand total of 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He's 50%, so he and Kuz are worse than LeBron. But again, big picture, LeBron ranks 101st in the NBA in free throw percentage, and Kyrie just laid it on him. That's your best free throw shooter? Well, obviously he's not, and it was a shot, and I was surprised LeBron didn't fire back at him, but he did not. And I think LeBron knew he was dealing from a real position of weakness last night because the Nets came in hot-handed, at least from the three-point line, and he didn't have Schroeder or AD.
Well, I think that's the thing that I think separates LeBron from a lot of guys is that LeBron doesn't respond to all the criticism. Now, he will lash out. Now, Skip, you remember when Charles Barkley said something, he went nuclear. He went scorched earth. So he will respond, but LeBron has to really feel that you went out of your way to take a shot at him in order for him to respond to you. Now, he might, Skip, beat around the bush and send out these little things, and you're like, well, what did LeBron mean? Why can't LeBron just go ahead and say he's talking about this guy?
Right.
He'll say, Skip, he'll give you this little warnings that
it's called passive-aggressive on social media.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yes. So, but I'm not surprised that he didn't respond in that moment to Kyrie. I'm not surprised whatsoever.
It's funny, though, Shannon, because if a fan ever heckles him, if an executive from a team he used to play for, the Cleveland Cavaliers, as we recall about, 3 weeks ago? The right-hand man of Dan Gilbert in Cleveland in an arena with very few fans in it, stood up and applauded when LeBron missed the last shot of the third quarter. And you know what happened in the fourth quarter? He took it very personally, probably because he's allied with Dan Gilbert, who has, LeBron should have no use for Dan Gilbert, obviously. And he goes off and scores 21 in the fourth. And if there have been classic cases on the road where at Toronto, at Atlanta, LeBron's gotten heckled by just some nobody fan in the stands, and he just goes ballistic. But he will not respond that way to player trash talk. It doesn't seem
because Skip, if you remember, Skip, just the game after Cleveland, the fan in the stand in Atlanta. But LeBron's like, look, he said what he said, I said what I said. It was 2 grown men going back and forth. We left it alone. But see, in that situation, LeBron James is very calculated. He says, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of thinking they got to me by even responding to this bull jive. I know who I am. I'm the king. I'm where they want to be. I'm what they hope to accomplish. So I am the most decorated player that's currently playing in the NBA. And if I respond, why should I respond? Nobody can touch my resume. Nobody currently playing, Skip, can touch his resume. So if he responds, it's like, oh, they got it, man. He made LeBron respond to something. Like maybe behind closed doors, he might go vent to Savannah. He might vent to Mav or Rich.
Yes.
Or you're right, Mav or Rich or Randy.
Yep.
But to give a said player the satisfaction of knowing you said something that got under my skin, or you said something that required me to respond to it, nah, I'm not going to even give you that satisfaction, bro. So, do you
Yeah, he ignored Kyrie like it's beneath his dignity to even acknowledge that shot.
Right.
So, and by the way, quick point of order on the fan in Atlanta. I think you enlightened me. They had some business dealing or something. There was something personal going on there.
Yeah. We'll keep that between me and you.
Keep that between. Okay, I won't go into the gory details of that, but I'm going to be very interested to see if LeBron even passive aggressively via social media takes any little tiny shot back, even between the line shot back at Kyrie, now that he's had a chance to sleep on it.
But Skip, remember when Kyrie said that when he looks down at the bench now, he sees a you-know-what that can make the same shots that he made?
Yeah, about
and
KD.
LeBron said, LeBron says, I did. And I think LeBron responded to it in a form of his own, like, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Damn, you did play with me. And you did see me hit shots like that.
Well,
so he'll approach it in that form. But man, Kai, I can't believe you said that, Kai. For real, Kai, to approach him in that manner, he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, this is the one reason I would love to see Lakers-Nets in the finals, because there is some serious bad blood here, and we'd get to see it maybe for 7 full games.